And hello everyone, Peter here once again with another great Minecraft tutorial for you. Today we're going to learn how to make a dirt house. The first thing you're going to want to do is just start punching the ground with your bare fists. Just go at it. Just beat the snot out of the ground, and eventually you'll start collecting some dirt blocks and build the house out of those. So that concludes the Minecraft portion of this tutorial. This is, as you can see in the video, the part you can see is we're doing another real-time drawing here. Some people seem to like them, so we're doing it again. This is one that a couple people mentioned. They pointed it out from this picture. Feel free to point out ones that you want to see in the future. And to my surprise, it's one of the simplest, or one of the simpler ones in the picture. We're drawing the middle, the far right one on the middle row, and but I know there is some appeal to simplicity in every part of life, I guess. But it's a good simple one. This one is fairly reminiscent of one of my artist blog videos. I think it was named something like topography or something. Yeah. I kind of took a tip from that. It's basically you just draw lines and then draw lines around the other lines, and kind of have fun with it. I don't remember what I was gonna say. These little, for those of you that don't know, maybe within the next 1,000 years, I might draw 1,000 of these little square drawings, and yeah, that could be cool. So far, I've drawn 27 of them. So I'm making a lot of real crazy forward progress on that, and I'm really happy with that. I guess I will tell you about a couple more things about my trip to New York. The one thing I don't like about talking about New York and my trip there, it's just like I don't like saying this word New York over and over again, or NYC, or the Big Apple, or whatever. Like I feel like if someone was talking to me and they just kept on saying New York and New York over and over again, I'd be like, I get it. You went to New York. It's a cool city. I get it, or whatever. But like, whatever. I'll just tell you a few of the cool things. Like first of all, I did notice that, excuse me, just walking around New York, so many of these. I did mention a few of these things in the other video, but like I didn't expound upon them. So many New Yorkers just seem so calm, cool, and collected. Like they all seem like movie stars or something. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but there's definitely a certain breed there. They raise them a certain way, that's for sure. And every now and then, it did surprise me when like one of them would like make eye contact with me. I don't know why it was strange to me. Maybe because it was uncommon to have eye contact with someone, just like walking down the sidewalk, whatever. Maybe I was like second guessing, like, why is he making eye contact with me? Do I look weird? Is there something in my teeth, or do I look, I think I was like a little bit insecure. Like, do I look like a tourist? They're like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but every time someone made eye contact with me, I was like second guessing myself for some reason. But maybe they were wondering why I was making eye contact with them and second guessing themselves. So there's that. I was probably not, though. They're all wearing cool coats from Macy's and stuff, I guess, wherever New Yorkers buy cool coats. I did go to Macy's. There are 9 floors or something there. I feel like Macy's is pretty popular and iconic. I went to Times Square like 4 times, and it was snowing like 2 of the times, and I rode the subway at least once. Actually, I rode the subway exactly once, for only one stop, actually. I was gonna ride it more, but then the subway got shut down due to the inclement weather. But I'm glad I did ride it at least once. I would have ridden it more, and I was going to, like, the only reason I didn't ride it more is just because I enjoyed walking around and seeing the things, getting from point A to point B. But also, I just didn't like want to worry about, going down there and figuring out which stop is best. I guess it just came down to pure laziness on my part and just wanting things to be easy. So I would call it Uber if I wanted to get somewhere quick instead of going to the subway, even though the subway would be cheaper. The cool thing about the subway is that if you like buy a little transit card or something, like with a 20 or a 10 or something, they give you your change back in gold dollar coins, which is awesome. They do the same thing in Charlotte with the fledgling light rail system they have there. Everyone likes having gold dollars. It makes you feel like a pirate. So I left New York with 7 gold dollar coins, and I'm a big fan of that. And then later, I went back to my bank here in Wilmington, and I asked them for some more gold dollar coins, and they only had like 30. So I pulled out 30 more, and I had 37 dollars in gold dollar coins. And then I went back to my safety deposit box. Now, the weird thing about these safety deposit boxes is that, like, they have their key that they stick in, and then you, like, hand them your key. And then they like turn it for you, and then they pull out your box for you. Now, like, I don't really have a good reason to have a safety deposit box. Like, at first I looked into getting one because I wanted a place to like keep some artwork, like in case my apartment ever burned down, I could just, get up in the middle of the night and run out of my burning apartment without having to worry about grabbing any valuables. In my case, my valuables would be my artwork. So I went into the bank and I was like, yeah, can I look at your safety deposit boxes? And none of them were really big enough to put like a portfolio full of art in. Even the widest ones were only like exactly the same length, the same width as a piece of art, and none of them. So it would like, if I put like a portfolio full of art in there, it would like sit in there diagonally, and that's no bueno. So I didn't want that. Anyway, so they told me that I could have one for free, though, for some reason. So I got one for free, and before I only had a piece of trash in there that I put in there the day I opened it. But I went back with all my gold dollars in my pocket, and I went back to my safety deposit box, and I went, like, the guy pulled it out for me. Like, you can't go and pull it out yourself. The guy always pulls it out for you and then hands it to you. And so I took it and I walked over to the little counter, which is like not very private. Like I don't know, like, do people keep weird stuff in safety deposit boxes, like family heirlooms, like like special treasures they don't want anyone knowing they have, that, like, I don't know what most people keep in safety deposit boxes. Probably just passports and birth certificates or something. There was like some weird little room on the side that there was some guy talking to himself in. I guess that's the more private way to open your safety deposit box. But anyways, I just used this little counter. I opened it up, and I took out the piece of trash that was in my safety deposit box, and I threw it in the trash because I didn't feel like keeping it in there anymore. And I dumped my handful of gold coins in there. So now I have $37 in gold coins in my safety deposit box at the bank. And I think every now and then I'll just go in there and ask if they have any more gold coins, and then I'll put them in the safety deposit box. And eventually, when the guy goes over there and pulls out the box, it'll be so heavy and so full of gold coins that he'll drop it, and it'll like fall on the floor, and just like gold coins will just go everywhere, all over the floor of the bank vault, and it'll be really cool. That's what I want to do. That's my goal right now. But I mean, it could take a while because when I went last time, they only had 30 coins. So I'd imagine it might take a lot. So struggles, first world problems. Anyway, so yeah, New York was cool. I saw a lot of stores that I didn't recognize. Like when we walked all the way down to the tip of Manhattan, there was like some fancy mall, and like at the bottom of some skyscrapers, and I was like, wow, this is fancy. The mall looks nice, and I have never heard of any of these stores before, so I didn't even go in them because I was tired of walking. And I saw the Statue of Liberty from a great distance, right next to Ellis Island at a great distance, and a little little fire department boat pulled up and docked, and that was cool. And there was the Hudson River, where I hear they sometimes land planes there. I didn't get to see that at the moment, which is too bad. Um, yeah. On the way down, we walked through the NYU campus. And now I'm just really amazed. Now, I lived in Chicago for a little over a year, but, one of the major differences about downtown New York and downtown Chicago that I noticed was that downtown New York, there's a huge oversight, when they planned the city, I think. Downtown New York, or any of New York, I guess. Actually, I didn't really pay attention to, like, when I went to, like, Brooklyn and stuff, but downtown New York, they have no alleys. And that's a crazy, crazy thing, Like, they literally throw their trash out on the street, on the sidewalks, in just huge heaps and piles in it. And I think during the summer it smells awful. There's people just like puking, adding to the piles, and it boggles my mind how the city functions and how they thought it would work without alleys. I guess they thought that was just how it had to work. But Chicago's awesome. I love the alley system in Chicago. I love alleys. I love, it's like a different little, each alley is like its own little atmosphere, in a good way and a bad way sometimes. But anyways, so like, and in addition to that, sometimes, like the roads are like four lanes, but there's only room for like one car to get through because there's people parking, and then there's like delivery trucks or people just like messing around, getting in and out of cars, and so there's like cars just zooming up and down little one lane street that's left, and there's like a sliver of space on each side of the car that's zooming up and down, and it's like barely ordered chaos, and it's fun to see how everything just barely continued to work like a well greased gear or something. I'm sure there's some common metaphor that I'm missing here, but anyways, it was cool. I was like, like in an Uber, just kind of like I feel like if I was like a more easily stressed out person, I might have gotten stressed out, but I just like sat in the Uber and watched everything fly by my window at like 1 inch away. And sometimes the smart people folded their mirrors in when they parked, and sometimes they were just mirrors hanging by wires on the sides of cars. And it was cool. I went to a big old bookstore there called the Strand. I'm not sure if it was like a used bookstore. I don't think it was used bookstore. I think it's just like a normal bookstore, but it was huge. It took up like a whole city block, or maybe like 4 stories. And I found my coloring book there, and I pointed it out to some girl that was standing nearby. I was like, I couldn't tell if she was actually looking at all the rest of the coloring books, or she was just like looking at some other random books nearby. I said, this is the best one. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I made that. And she's like, oh. And then I walked away, and my friend that I was with said I should have signed them, and then like making fun of me for saying that. I'm pretty sure signing my books that I hadn't bought yet would have been illegal. Like, those aren't my property, even though they're kind of my books, right? Am I crazy? No, right? I can't just go signing books that I don't own, even though if I authored them, right? I don't think so. I mean, people would have liked it to have a signed copy. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't sign them because no one paid me to. Anyways, Strand was cool. I bought some Sharpies that said the Strand on them. Because everyone loves Sharpies. And had some good food. Did have some good food. All sorts. I don't know, I feel like too many things happened. There were like, in Times Square is like a crazy place. First of all, it's not a square, it's like a weird X shape. So it should be called Times X. But I guess a square is more of just a general term for an open space in a city than like a description of the shape. But there's like all these like people dressed up as mascots, like Disney characters. You've got like Iron Man and like Elsa and Hello Kitty and that snowman from Frozen, Olaf. Yeah, and like anyway, anything you can imagine, Mickey Mouse. Everything. But sometimes you'd see like Elsa walking along with like the head of her costume like kind of propped up so you could see the actor's actual face, and it would totally ruin the illusion, the what little illusion there was, because you'd see that Elsa was actually like some old wrinkly 65-year-old woman. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with being an old wrinkly 65-year-old woman. It's just that that's not who Elsa is supposed to be. It's just like if you're walking around in the middle of Times Square and you're supposed to be Elsa, then keep your mask down. And if you want to pop that thing off, step around the corner or something. In my opinion. And at one point, I looked too long at like one of them or something, and then they all like swarmed around me. I guess I was just like a novice tourist guy, and they pounced on me, so to speak. And they're like, "Yeah, get a picture." And so my friend was taking pictures. She like took a picture of me, and then like two more of them swarmed around. I'm like, now first of all, there's like an explicit sign that says you do not have to give a tip, but like after they all swarm me for pictures and they're talking to you like, it's just like total madness. After all that, they all hold up like little name tags they have on that says that heavily suggests tipping or whatever. So there were three of them, so I gave them $1 each. Or actually, I gave one of them $3. Suggesting that they split it amongst themselves fairly, and I'm pretty sure they thought that was an absurdly small amount, but really, they should just be happy I wasn't charging them, for pictures. So, in retrospect, I should have been doing that. But yeah, I would go back to New York sometime. I definitely didn't see everything. I'm 100% sure of that. I mean, I didn't even go to the Statue of Liberty. They say it's, a lot bigger once you're actually at it. So I believe them. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.